So you go from 1847, 1848, where you have this significant broad-based community response to slavery, to just a few decades later, 2 decades later, a very significant tenor that doesn't seem to welcome black people, and that seems to be in part what starts to diminish those numbers. And one of the things that I'm very excited about, the work that Patty does and the work that folks are willing to do in Battle Creek, is to figure out why and to start to ask some of those hard questions, while not just kind of valorizing this moment in history that the folks in Marshall pulled together and they banded across racial divide and they ended slavery and rather than just kind of valorizing those activities, people like Patty and Chelsea Johnson and many of the other people that I work with in that community are very interested in asking why and figuring out why, and then starting to, as we need to do, not just interrogate history, but change our future on the basis of what we understand about the past and the present. And so that's what I'm really excited about, and that's one of the things that we're seeing in this new project that I'm working on, is to focus on these places where you have these sharp drops in population and then these peaks or these spikes in population. And why is that? Why do people move to a place? But especially, why do people move away from a place? Do they do it because of economy? Are they moving away because the tenor changes and there aren't jobs available for them, period? Or is it because there aren't jobs available for them more generally as black people? So what we start to see then is the population starts to drop in Marshall around 1870. It continues to rise here in Battle Creek where we're going, and continues to rise over time. So these, again, always following these populations and kind of figuring out what people are creating for themselves is especially important. Any questions?
What year did the anti-Negro sentiment end?
Aaron asked me, what year did the anti-Negro sentiment end? What year are we in right now? So
that's a joke, right?
I've always felt very welcome and embraced when I'm in Marshall. Again, I think what's
other people have not.
Yeah, but what I think is especially important is you've got these folks that are on the ground level really trying to interrogate his history and push those people to think about why there aren't black people in Marshall anymore. Why are all the black people in Calhoun County, in Battle Creek, and in Albion? These are really important questions to ask. But we do have people in Marshall, I think, that are willing to ask them and answer them. So, but I don't know if it's ended all the way.
I wasn't referring to Marshall specifically.
No.
Oh, generally, where did
right?
So Eric's question is, when did the anti-Negro sentiment end generally? My question is, when will it end more generally? So, but I'm naive enough to think that this work is part of the process of